All right, what's up, everybody? This is Dog Awful Betting. We are back with another podcast. On the last podcast, we did the AFC running back groups. We ranked each division 1 through 4. So now we're going to do the NFC division this podcast, or the NFC conference, the NFC divisions this podcast. We're going to rank them 1 through 4. This one's going to be a quick podcast because I've only got 25% left on my battery. So we're going to try to knock this out so we don't get cut off in the middle. I believe our last podcast we got cut off because I don't know, my computer freaked out or something. Anyway, so we're going to get this started. We're here with Sideways Jarvie, Sefi Sanchez, Parlay Puffin. And just so you know, you guys can give us a like, a follow, a share. We do appreciate it. You can follow us at Twitter, just at Dog Awful Betting. You can Google or Facebook search us, Dog Awful Betting as well. We have a group page there. And then obviously if you're watching us, you're already on YouTube. So like, comment, share, thumbs up, all that good stuff. So we can get our following up and grow our audience, obviously. I'm here in at South Point Casino here in Las Vegas to do our podcast. And that's that. All right, let's get this started real quick so we can get this knocked out. So we're going to start with the NFC East for this. At number 4, I put the Eagles. And partially I did that. It's kind of like what I did with the Bills on the last podcast. Jalen Hurts is going to, take over some carries, and I think it's going to diminish kind of what they can do. I do like DeAndre Swift. I like Gainwell. They actually have a decent depth. I like the depth that they got. But like I said, I mean, I know in the other groupings that we said, like in a vacuum, you're kind of ranking these based on, are they going to stay healthy? DeAndre Swift kind of has one of those injury histories to think about. But he did catch 48 passes last year, which is pretty solid. I like that coming from a running back. But Eagles 4, number 3, I got the Cowboys there. I love Tony Pollard, 1,000-yard rusher last year, 39 receptions. But after that, everything drops off since Zeke left. They don't have nothing about their backups scare me or bother me or make me worry about them. I think they're going to be a pass heavy team anyway. It'd be interesting to see what they do without Kellen Moore, though. But I do got them at number 3. Number 2, I do have the Commanders. I love Brian Robinson. I love Antonio Gibson. That's a great 1-2 punch. Brian Robinson coming back. He's got a full year to be healthy. Last year he got shot or something like that, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
In the preseason or something like that. So he'll have a full training camp this year, full preseason. So I like that 1-2 punch there of Robinson and Gibson. Because Robinson rushed for 797 yards last year. So even after being shot in the leg, he still put up some decent numbers. This year, I think he could potentially get to 1,000, I think. And then number 1, you got to go with the Giants. Saquon, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, 57 receptions. That's his best year since his rookie season. Love Saquon. Got a great backup in Matt Breida. I really like what another year under Brian Daboll. I like what that offense can do with that group of running backs. So Eagles 4, Cowboys 3, Commanders 2, and Giants 1. What do you got, Puff?
Actually, I've got a little bit of a change up here. I've actually got Washington at 4. But the reason for that is I do like both of them. I think they're both really good, but I have been witness to an Eric Bieniemy run offense, and he just does not feature running backs. He just doesn't. It's not in his MO. He will use them, but they really don't. They're just not featured, and so I don't know how effective they're going to be.
But you got to think, though, they have Howell as a quarterback. Like, how much are they going to actually throw it? Like, it's obvious
they've thrown the hell out of it this preseason, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that they won't at the end of the year be good, but for me, I got to see it before I can put them up there with the Saquons, Miles Sanders, Pollard, because I've just seen Eric Bieniemy too many times shy away from the run game, and they kind of go into the abyss. So that it's not so much their talent; it's more so how they're going to be used and the impact they're going to have for the team. And then at 3, I actually have the Eagles. I love Jalen is kind of another one of those deals, kind of like Josh Allen. He's used as a running back a lot, but I like Miles Sanders. But again, after that, the depth just doesn't give me much.
Miles Sanders is gone.
Swift. Miles Sanders is gone.
Or Swift. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. So even more so. There you go. So yeah. So he's not even there. So, and then at 2, I have the Cowboys. I love Pollard. I think he's a stud. I think Ezekiel Elliott kind of overshadowed him a little bit as far as him being the main stud there. So I think now that he's gone, I think he's going to be really good. He's going to be able to shine and really show how good of a back he is. And then at 1, obviously, is Saquon. Not much really to say there other than it's Saquon, and when healthy, he's one of the top 2 or 3 backs in the whole league. So it's kind of where I have him now.
We got Seffy.
I'll be quick. I like all 4 of these groups of running backs. I have Washington football team 4th. I have the Eagles 3rd, the Cowboys 2nd, and Saquon comes in at number 1. Not much else to say.
What you got, Jarvie?
Yep, I have the Commanders 4. I put the Cowboys 3, and even though I feel like the Eagles and them are really close, I do think there's a secret in the Eagles. They got this guy named Penny who has led all running backs in yards per carry since 2019. If he can stay healthy, I think that it's going to really open up that game for the running backs. And since they have a great offensive line, I think that really helps as well, along with having a running quarterback. So I have them I have the Cowboys 3, the Eagles 2, and the Giants 1. That's what I have it. And the reason why, again, Barkley's a stud. Jones is a running quarterback. I think it's just another thing, and I trust just what they're going to do. But of everything else, like you guys said, whenever I look at all this stuff, and like I will piggyback off of what Puffin said, EB, their new offensive coordinator for Commanders, he just does not do good with running backs. And I know that's just a new way of the football, but he has never, since all those years, he's never been one of producing running backs. And the Chiefs has had a history of producing running backs. And when he became our offensive coordinator, all that stuff just went way out. So again, Commanders 4, Cowboys 3, Eagles 2, and Giants 1.
Well,
here we go.
Puff,
Chiefs Talk and an NFC podcast.
Yeah, you and Puff, just 2 peas in a pod, just everything in sync. And did you guys get together to do your rankings?
Great minds think alike.
Just watch a lot of Chiefs football. I just know exactly what it is, man.
For a long time, it was very unfortunate.
For a long time.
All right, let's move on, guys. NFC North, I have 18% battery life left. So we're getting there. It's going to be a close one. Number 4, guys, I got the Vikings. Obviously, for obvious reasons, Dalvin Cook is out of there. Obviously left and went to the Jets. I got Alexander Madison, who probably will be their number 1 back. 283 yards last year, 5 TDs. I think he'll be an adequate back, but he's obviously no Cook. Their backups, I can't even pronounce that one guy's name. Some guy named Ty Chandler. They don't scare me. So I got them number 4. I got the Lions I got the Bears at number 3. I don't know what to think about this. I'm not really. On paper, their stats look all right. Khalil Herbert has 700 rushing yards last year. Foreman, 900 yards rushing. They don't catch the ball particularly well as far as pass catchers. Both of those combined last year had 14 receptions combined. So they don't really have any pass catchers unless one of the, somebody farther down the line there is a good catcher. It just comes down to me as like, I'm not sold on what Herbert's going to, or not Herbert, Fields is going to do for them um, to help their running back situation. So I got them at number 3. Number 2, I do have the Lions. I'm not a big David Montgomery fan, but he had 800 yards last year, 34 receptions. I like that Lions offense. So I'm curious to see what could happen there. They have Jahmyr Gibbs and Craig Reynolds as backups. Once again, not big on the depth, but based on this division, kind of crappy actually, as far as running back goes. So I got them at number 2. Number 1, obviously, you got Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, pretty good 1-2 punch there. Just kind of curious to see what happens now that Rodgers isn't there to air it out to kind of open things up for them. But I still got to put him number 1. Jones 1,000 yards last year, 1,100 yards last year. Dillon 700 yards last year, and they're both pretty good pass catchers. Jones had 59 catches last year. Dillon had 28 receptions last year, so pretty good 1-2 punch. I think they're probably going to be number 1 for everybody, I would think. But let's see what you got, Puff.
Yep. Vikings, I don't think there needs to be anything said. They're number 4, not even close. The Bears, they have potential, but I don't think that they are going to be as I don't know. I don't know about them enough. I don't watch them enough. I don't really. I mean, you can look at stats like you said, but to know, really know them and what they're going to do, I just don't know. I actually have the Packers and the Lions tied. I don't see much difference. What? I like Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be.
How do you have them tied? You have 1,000-yard rusher, a 69 catch rusher. Like, how?
If you listen, you'll understand.
I'm probably still not going to understand.
I like Montgomery a lot. I think he's going to be really good, and Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be a stud. That guy is an absolute beast, and I think he is going to come in and really turn some heads. And the other part of it is kind of piggybacks off of what you said about the Packers. I don't know how effective Dillon and Brooks are going to be with Jordan Love there. I think they're good. But that factors into my equation of, as far as who the better group is, because I think that Gibbs and Montgomery are going to be really, really good. And I don't know if Dillon and Brooks are going to have the same type of production that they had with Rodgers. If they do, then they're definitely the cream. I'm not saying that they're, but I just have them tied right now. I think they're both equally deep, equally as good, and I think people are going to see Gibbs and they're going to understand that this guy is the real deal.
All right, what you got, Seffi?
I think that the Packers lead the pack. I think the Vikes are at the tail end of it. I got the Bears and the Lions in the middle. I agree. Gibbs is going to be maybe fantasy stud. I don't know how irrelevant he's going to be otherwise for them, but the Bears, I think they're a little deeper there. They're going to be throwing the rookie into, as well as Fields. You basically have a running back at quarterback, so I think there's just going to be a whole lot of rushing there, and I think they'll be pretty solid. But I think the Packers clearly lead that division.
All right, we got sideways. Can we just cut and paste what Puff said and move it over to you?
Yeah. What about the Chiefs?
Well, I will just say this much. I pretty much agree with everything you guys just said, which is a rare thing. The Vikings I have last. Their offensive line is just, as far as producing runs, they're 27th last year in yards and 26th in yards per carry. The Vikings were, so they're not that great. The Lions and the Bears, I just have them right there beside each other. I think I read a stat where Montgomery was like 800 yards plus for the last 4 consecutive years. So for the Bears, so I mean, I don't know what's going to come about with that with the Lions. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't really watch enough Lions or Bears. The only time I ever watched the Lions is on Thanksgiving, ever since what's his face retired, the wide receiver. So I don't really watch either much of them two. But the Packers, I think, again, as much as you want to say, well, Aaron Rodgers opened it up, well, at the same time, that's going to, I think, just going to give more of a reasons why they're going to run the ball even more. So I just think when you got Jordan Love as your quarterback, just hand the dadgum ball off. As far as I'm concerned, so I think Jones and Dillon are both going to have a good year. They had, I think they were only the fourth two duo to ever do this, have 1,000 yards over the line of scrimmage. Both of them from the line of scrimmage. So only the fourth duo to ever do that in NFL history. So I think they're going to be. I think they're top ones. I think it's Packers, and it's not even close to. I think they just run away from the rest of them.
All right, that's good enough. All right, let's move on to the NFC South. I got 14% left. Number 4, I put the Bucks. Rachaad White, Chase Edmonds. They don't scare me. They're gonna have Baker Mayfield under center. So they're gonna get rushed a lot because Baker sucks. I absolutely hate Baker Mayfield. Just to add that in there. Number 3, we got the Falcons. Bijan Robinson supposed to be a stud.
Are you drunk?
I'm not drunk. I'm not. I've never been big on rookie.
This is the worst take of all time.
Oh, here we go.
My
Man,
God.
We got 13%. We don't have time to get into this now, but you better be glad
Right.
I don't have time to do this. But I've never been big on rookie running backs. I got Bijan Robinson and the Falcons at number 3. I do like the depth. They got Cordell Patterson there, obviously. Tyler Algiers in that grouping as well. I got them at number 3. Number 2, I have the Saints with Jamal Williams, 1,000-yard rusher last year, 17 touchdowns. And I think that could. I don't think he'll get 17 this year, but I think with Derek Carr there, I think he'll be pretty solid. Number 1, I got the Panthers, Miles Sanders, Chuba Hubbard. I think it's an excellent 1-2 punch. I'm not real big on Miles Sanders. I think he could be better than what he is, but he just isn't. But yet he had 1,200 yards last year, 11 TDs. Got them number 1. Also with a rookie running back or rookie quarterback. So I have a feeling he's going to get a big load this year. So Bucks 4, Falcons 3, Saints 2, and Panthers 1. What do you got, Puff?
I actually have. I've got the Bucks 4th, pretty much for every reason you said. Not much really else to add there. I have the Saints at 3. Kamara's, kind of he's getting up there in age, and just don't know really what he's got left, and we've got to see what he has with Derek Carr, but. I don't know how much he has left in the tank at this point. At 2, I actually have the Panthers. I like Sanders and Hubbard. I think they're going to be good, but I've got the Falcons at 1. Algier was a 1,000-yard rusher. He had 210 rushes. He averaged 5 yards a carry last year. Tyler Algier or whatever.
He did not have 1,000 yards last year.
He had 1,035 yards.
Whoa. I got no. I'm sorry. No. Yeah, I mean what?
I'm looking at it right now. He had 210 rushes, averaged 4.9 yards a carry, had 1,035 yards. And that's on Pro Football Reference. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I looked up the wrong Tyler because I put him down as a nobody.
Listen to him, mouth my research. But no, you've got him, and then with Bijan coming in, I think that's going to be a massive 1-2 punch for them. I think they're going to be really good, and Bijan is a freak. He's a stud, and then I think you pair him with him, and I think you really got something there. So,
we got Siffy. I got 11% left. Let's go.
Okay, yeah, Falcons clearly number 1. 9, you're way off in your rankings. This Bijan, he must be a freak. Like I said, I don't know much about college football, but he's going when you just jump right into the top 10 of fantasy football drafts. I mean, they're expecting a lot out of him, and he must be a freak. But yeah, they already have Algier. I don't know where Cordero Patterson disappeared to, but he's another weapon they can throw in there because, Desmond Ridder can't throw the ball, so they're just going to run it all over. And the other 3, they are what they are. Nothing to say.
We got sideways.
I agree with them. I got Falcons 1. The reason why, again, is, Robinson, I think, is going to be a stud. You talk about Saquon Barkley and what his rookie year is going to be about. I know you're not high on rookies, but you talked up Saquon. He put up dang good years number his rookie season, and he was hyped up just like this guy was. So I'm going Falcons 1, Panthers 2, because The reason why is they were a top 5 rushing offense with 151.6 rushings after the trade last year. After they traded away their running back, they were still top 5 in rushing. So I'm still going to have them number 2. Saints, I'm going to have 3 because Jamal Williams, they signed Jamal Williams, who's really good too, along with Kamara. So I think that's going to be a good 1-2 punch. And the Saints, and then Bucks last. They're trash. They're junk.
They are junk. All right, let's move on to the NFC real quick. I have 10% remaining. Cardinals at number 4. James Conner sucks. His best days are behind him. The rest of that running back grouping, Corey Clement, Keontae Ingram, whatever. Number 3, I got the Rams, Cam Akers, Kyron Williams, Zach Evans. Cam Akers, I feel like he's another guy that I feel like he could be better than what he is. He just hasn't been. 700 yards, 7 TDs last year. Just doesn't do anything for me. Got them at 3. Seahawks, I got at number 2. I'm not big on Kenneth Walker, but 1,000 yards last year is pretty solid there. As far as the rest of them go, they got Zach Charbonnet, DJ Dallas. Not really much for depth there. Number 1, obviously, Christian McCaffrey, 1,100 yards, 85 receptions, 464. I hate CMC. I'm not a big fan. But they just keep giving him the ball, so he's got to be number 1. Eventually, he's going to start breaking down for as much as he touches the ball. That day will come. Obviously, may or may not be this year. We don't know yet. Eli Mitchell, solid backup there. And I like what they do with that offense as a whole. It'd be interesting to see how, what kind of offense they're gonna. Go ahead. I'm running blank here. go Buff.
No, I have the exact same ranking, same order. Not much really to say. San Francisco, I think they're probably the best rushing attack in the whole league. What they do with CMC, and then they throw in Debo and Ayuk, I don't know how you stop them. So pretty self-explanatory. This division's pretty easy to rank, I have a feeling. So not much to it really.
We got Puff.
Agreed. I've got the same exact rankings. I like Seattle's duo. Ken Walker can stay healthy, but the 49ers definitely are the top.
Yep.
Give us
clean
a stat,
sweep.
Jarvis.
I just have the Rams last just because I don't think Akers is that great. But I mean, it's a clean sweep. The Cardinals were 6th in the run block last year, so I'm just giving them just a slight edge, even though I think that Cam Akers is junk. But anyways, 49ers 1, Seahawks 2, Cardinals 3, and Rams 4. But it doesn't matter. It's 49ers, and it's not close.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of a crappy division overall. But yeah,
Cam Akers does not suck. Let's go Rams.
Yeah, you believe that.
I believe he could be better than what he is, but he's just not.
So how much time you got left, Nide?
I got 9%, so probably a couple more minutes.
All right, good, because I really want to know what your idiotic comment is about thinking CMC is not that good. I mean, this guy's an absolute.
I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just waiting for the wear and tear to kick in. He's touched and carried the ball so much the last couple of years. Like, I have a feeling he's just going to break down. Like, I'm not saying that he's not good. He's obviously great. Like 85 catches, 1,300 yards. Like, you can't deny that. But eventually, like, they just keep giving him the ball. When's he going to break down?
Well, I think he's been injured pretty good the last couple of years.
Right.
I feel like he's been injured his whole career.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how you put like wear and tear. I don't think he's really had wear and tear. I just think he's just had nothing but tear. If he can stay healthy, he's arguably the best running back probably in the league, but it's just never been the case that he could ever stay healthy. Is always been his argument, but I don't know. I think under the Shanahan offense, he's going to be just unbelievable.
He was at the end of last year.
Yeah, he was real good. But we'll see. I came to the conclusion on this after researching all this stuff. I mean, it's crazy how much the NFL has totally changed, how much just running backs really don't They don't.
don't matter.
They don't matter. And like
They
you
just
really
don't.
look at the scheme of things, it's changed so much over the years, and I don't know.
It's like these guys holding out for, all this money. It's like they're not going to pay you. Why would they?
I know.
They can go draft a guy in the mid rounds, have him for nothing basically for 4 years, and then send him down the road and do it again. I don't get it. I mean, I know they want to get paid, and I understand, but unless the NFL changes the way they pay running backs and change to where their first contract can be the big one,
Yeah.
these guys are
guaranteed
not going
something.
to get. They're just not going to get that much. There's no reason to pay them. No reason.
Yeah.
All right, guys,
I
I'm at
mean,
7%. We gotta go. We'll be back next week with another podcast. Next week we're gonna I was gonna do receivers next week, but let's do receivers and tight ends together as like a whole grouping.
Okay.
So we'll do receivers next week, receiver groupings, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace out, guys.
I
peace.
was